Oh, snap. Hey, what's going on there, YouTube?
Yo, what's up out there, YouTube? It's coming at you one more time. It's Joe Johnson 030.
This is SEL 030. We're back. We back like 3E Jack. You see, you get it? 3E Jack. You know what I'm saying? You see, from this perspective, it look like an E, but it's really a 3. You get it? 3E, EZ, day 2. Nah, just playing. So yeah, we're gonna go over the Sony Conference, y'all. We did look at a large portion of it. There's still some things we need to go back over because the first part we kind of missed some of it, but we went back through and looked at a lot of the footage from the Sony Conference. Sony Conference, I actually really enjoyed it. The question is, by the end of what we finished talking about, did they beat Microsoft? I think that's the real question that everybody really wants to know. But Joe's gonna spearhead, I guess, the Sony Conference. So what's your thoughts, Joe? Or where you want to go with this?
I mean, so for starters, I don't think they talked about any like software updates or anything like that.
Oh, you're talking about like firmware updates and like, yeah, that's true.
But
oh, they did. There's one thing they didn't talk about it in the conference, but I will say that last night, PlayStation 4 got an update. They finally actually added media player. So media player and DLNA enabled. So basically you could have like content that's like videos or stuff that you have that's downloadable, or just digital content that you want to go ahead and stream over to your PS4. You can do that. Or you can take a thumb drive and be able to plug it into the USB port, and instead of it giving like a stupid error like this needs to be reformatted, it'll actually be able to potentially like play your videos. Even if it's like, I think MKV, I think it's MKV, AVI, M4V. It was a pretty big range, and then they also had like MP3 content that was added to the media player. So yeah, they did add that, so that's good.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, something's stepping up there, man.
You know, man.
So I mean, but most of the the showcase, they talk about their games that they're having.
Oh, the first one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What was the first one?
Last Guardian.
Last Guardian. Yo, so they started out pretty strong. You know what I'm saying? The Last Guardian, which looks amazing, by the way. Looks amazing. Looks pretty crazy. I'm like, they said that this was an older franchise.
Yeah.
I'm totally unaware of like the older franchise. With Shadow of Colossus, never mind. I've heard of that. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. It was crazy. Well, I'll let you describe the trailer, but I'll talk about the history of it. So, the Shadow of Colossus and the other games that are along the same thing that were developed by Team Ico, this is a Japan studio. They basically take like huge creatures and allow like a miniature person or a regular person to interface with them while things are happening on the outside. So you got like its own backdrop, but then you got like this one massive creature that you're continuously crawling on or moving on, and it's really expensive. But they've been trying to get the Last Guardian created, I guess, for about 10 years, and ever since Shadow of Colossus came out, they were estimating when the next game was going to come out, and they didn't know. But I'll let Joe describe, I guess, what he saw in the trailer.
Yeah, so I mean, in the trailer it was like this little kid, kind of like, you see him like on these ruins of like this, I don't know what it was, not city but it was just these monumental towers and settings in the sky, and he calls out like this monster, and it looks like a griffin with like kind of like these miniature wings. So it's still probably like an adolescent whatever, but so he's actually like, they're actually going through this of these huge towers, and like there's a lot of catwalks and stuff, and a lot of bridges that are like breaking underneath them, and they have to navigate through these large towers in the sky without falling off. So that was pretty interesting to watch. The graphics on it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The skybox in the game was, I mean, freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The setting was amazing. The only thing that looked kind of I don't know, cartoony was the actual little boy, like the character. But I mean, that's completely acceptable.
Yeah. I thought it was really different because like the way he was moving like a goofy little kid would move. Like you know how like a little kid kind of like moving his chest out and just kind of like moving to the side and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a kid.
But at the same time, like I was so overtaken, I guess, by the environment. Like the grass was moving, the feathers on the whatever the creature was moving, and you had to kind of really figure it out on the fly. And it didn't seem like it was staged necessarily, but I would like to see like the kid fall or something happen so you can see how easy it is to play. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I guess the next thing was Herman Hustler came up with the new game by Gorilla. It was called The Old Ones. Do you remember what that one was about?
The Old Ones.
Yeah, it was like basically some cities. Okay, so there's a girl and she's interacting through what seems to be, you think it's kind of prehistoric, but it's not. It's like future. Like after everybody's died and all the cities and stuff is desolate and messed up, and the only thing that is still out and active is a group of humans, but then the animals are basically robotic and they look like dinosaurs, and it looks freaking amazing because the way that she's interacting with one of the big ones and trying to take it down.
You're talking about Horizon.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh yeah.
The Horizon game, because all she kept on referring to them as the old ones, so that's what I wrote down. But I think it's Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, that's it. Good job, teamwork. What was your take on that game? I thought that was really awesome.
Man, that game was pretty creative. One thing I've noticed, man, is like a lot of games that come from Japan are like pretty out there when it comes to creativity.
Yeah.
And this game, like, I'm glad to see like this one was like that. You know what I'm saying? We could kind of like put our stamp on it.
Yeah.
As far as like Ben Reckon and like actually be like a great game, or not great, but like a very creative game that pushes boundaries that normally like people wouldn't think of or go there.
Sure.
So I think if you don't think it's a great game or great concept, you definitely want to play it.
Yeah.
Like you definitely just want to try it out and see how everything's gonna come through, and like how this person is gonna like fight these, or even these are animals that they're hunting that are robots. Who's to say that there's not like some robotic cybernetic beings like in cities? So
True.
So we don't know like what's behind the next corner in this game. So that's intriguing.
I think that had the best opportunity of being a new franchise. Just from the look of it, if they do it right and the story is really well done, this could be, the next big thing. It could be BioShock, you know what I'm saying? Not in the concept of just the setting of BioShock, but just something new, innovative that nobody would think. It's a sleeper hit, I guess, what I'm thinking about it. So I'm all for that game. I think the next two were Hitman and it was Super Street Fighter. So what did you think about both of those?
Man, I didn't see enough of Hitman to
like
it was a cinematic trailer.
It caught me off guard.
It did. I would want to see gameplay of it.
Yeah.
It was a cinematic trailer, which is straight. You know that, right? So it was a cinematic trailer. You know what I'm saying? So I would want to see gameplay for it. But I mean, Hitman franchise, it's always been a good game.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Hitman. It's like it didn't like shake me, like rile me up my seat, like hype me up.
Honestly, I haven't played one since Blood Money.
I think because they came out with new Max Payne.
Didn't they already do that? Max Payne 3 for 360? Yeah, sure.
That's 360.
So Max Payne 4. I can't remember if he lived through this one.
I don't know either.
I can't remember. But I didn't even see the Super Street Fighter 5 because I was sitting there working on the editing the video. Did you see any of it?
Yeah, so they have 2 new characters in this game. They have what's his name? I think his name's Birdie and Cammy. They're reintroducing Cammy to the fight. So that was pretty cool.
The next thing was Sean Murray with No Land Sky.
No Man's Sky.
That what?
No Man's Sky.
What was that? Anyway, like that mess was creepy. Was that the one?
No. That's the one where he was in space and he was exploring all those planets.
What was that?
And he zoomed out, and like every solar system was like one star. He was zoomed out.
Yeah, that's right.
That joint was crazy, dude. Like, if they have like some crazy game modes, I think it'll be a freaking amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
But based off what we've seen thus far, I mean, the achievement, and I say achievement in like the programming of the game, and like, cause I mean by that I think that's an achievement, pretty big achievement.
Yeah.
Before as an entire game. I want to see if they can really have different game modes. I want to see the game modes they have and the action that's in it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it can be, you know what I'm saying, from a programmer standpoint, like a very staple achievement, which is cool. It's very cool to get your head around, like, okay, this is each planet and the vastness of it. But if it doesn't have action, it's not going to be a great game.
True.
So it's got to be twofold. It's got to have both. I mean, you definitely want to play it, and you want to wrap your mind around like how did he do this, or how did the studio do this to where it's this vast. But after like that, after like probably like an hour, 30 minutes, it's like okay, it's cool how they did it, but I don't want to play it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I guess the next 3 are the big surprises. So you got Final Fantasy VII that gets introduced. You get the Shinobi, or not Shinobi, was it Shenmue? How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Shenmue.
I think it's Shenmue. But Shenmue 3 just got its brand new Kickstarter, and I think overnight they reached their goal.
Are you for real?
And you know it was 3 million,
That's
right?
Great. What?
And
That's
then
amazing.
you got the Batman. Those were the big, like, the ones that kind of like, man, this is like the games, you know, like visually immersive, visually awesome. They didn't show that much of Shenmue because they wanted to leave off like Uncharted for the end.
Forgive us if we're slaughtering this name, because
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I don't know. I've never played it. Just to be fair, I've never played it. I'm not taking away from the greatness of this game. It's just I haven't been exposed to it.
And we didn't see anything. There was no footage for us to actually really see. It was old recycled footage. They just talked about the Kickstarter, which they reached their goal, which is awesome. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, the trailer, when I started looking at the trailer, we should have done a reaction to it because I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was like, wait, what is this? I recognized the city in the backdrop. But I was like, are they talking about, is this Final Fantasy 15? That's what I was thinking, you know? And then all of a sudden, I see my ninja with the sword, Cloud. I was like, no. And they've been talking about this, Joe, for over 15 years, that they were going to remake it. And they, I think it was like 5 years ago, they were like guaranteeing it's going to come out. And then they said it's never going to come out.
Yeah.
And to have that trailer and to have it actually come out, I think that won over a lot of Sony fans.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts, though?
Oh man, I was hyped before I even seen Cloud. I was like, what is this game? Like, this game looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I seen, you know, the legendary sword on his back, and I was just like, yo, it's like, okay, they made a lot of people happy.
They did.
A lot of people happy with that, man.
They did.
And I mean, hey, it's Cloud. Can't complain.
Sure.
Cannot complain.
It's real. The next one was Batman, the Arkham Knight. and they showed a brand new trailer, which I'm gonna show you right here in between me and Joe. I'm gonna kind of show y'all a little clip and a snippet of what we've got for that, and it's actually on YouTube. But once you click this link, this right here, you'll be able to go and see the whole entire thing. But for now, I just want to show you a small clip of it. We reacted to it. It was pretty funny. But the exclusive is that Batman Arkham Knight allows you to be able to have the Scarecrow missions, and you get the Batman 3019, I can't remember, 3009 version Batman of Earth 2, which is really crazy as far as the skin, and I think they got the Adam West skin as well, which is cool. But this trailer was amazing because I didn't know what the heck it was, and it was in first person. So I was like, why is Bruce Wayne going up in there like a cop? And it was just nuts. Like, I'm not going to describe it all because in our trailer review we talk about it. But I guess what was your impression on just looking at it, Joe?
My impression on it, man, it was amazing. It was an amazing trailer. Because like I was like, okay, so the first part of it starts off like the perspective from a cop. I was like, okay, so this is Arkham. Why I read his perspective of a cop, first of all. And why is he going into a diner? And then when the guy, the waiter was like, hey, there's a guy in here smoking in the corner. And I was just like, we know how this is going to end.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
In the corner smoking. Yeah. You know, but I was like, why is he in the diner? I don't know. Yeah. But, you know, it turned out to be Scarecrow. And then he gets hit with that, you know what I'm saying, that neurotoxin that's like, that flips you out, like, with fear and paranoia. And this guy's like, the cop was like shooting people. And I was like, oh, so that makes sense. Yeah. But it was crazy, dude. And it's like, if that's the kind of stuff you're going to be exposed to in Arkham, man. Not in Arkham, but in Gotham, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a crazy game. Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy game.
So
crazy.
Before our battery runs out on our camera, we'll touch on the last three things really quickly. So I did want to bring up Morpheus. Morpheus is basically their rendition version of VR. They didn't show too many games. They did show the games, but it was kind of like a big panel. They didn't show the actual gameplay for it. They didn't show the immersion of it. They didn't go into detail like they did for the HoloLens, which I thought that was a kind of a fail because I was like, okay, this is their opportunity, you know, to be innovative. But they didn't take that much time into telling us, wait, what are the capabilities in this? They just kind of did a small clip, and I didn't like that. But then the other thing I didn't like was when Destiny came up there, and I'm not gonna say too much, and we'll talk about this in another discussion and video. But all I can say is that even though I have the DLC pass that gave me the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, I'm still gonna have to pay $39 in order to get the brand new Taken King. That doesn't make sense to me. For me to play Oryx and the Dad of Crota and this new awesome like subclass is really cool looking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into the detail of it because I know our battery's gonna die. But I hate the fact that Destiny is kind of making us do that. So basically, I'm ending up going to be paying $130 just to be able to meet ends meet because you got people that can pay for the game, the 2 DLCs, and the new one for $59.99. That's not right. The last thing that happened was Uncharted 4. And if you look right here, we have a full reaction of it, full 8 minutes. We had it was nuts. It was nuts to say the least. Yeah. But definitely go and check out that if you want to a little bit later on. But I'm just leaving my final impressions on what I thought about it. I'm excited for it. And especially now that we've already established after the Batman thing and certain other games were really awesome, that we're going to probably get the PS4 version of the Batman Arkham Knight. And it's probably going to be silver. So we're going to probably do maybe an unboxing of that next week. So hopefully y'all stay tuned for that a little bit later. But all in all, like, the Uncharted 4 looks really good. It looks beautiful. Like, the way that they just free flow through combat and interaction, it feels like a live action movie. And that's the only thing I can really say about it before I give my final thoughts on the Sony Conference versus Microsoft. What are your thoughts on the Uncharted real quick?
I mean, it was great. I mean, yeah, it was a great trailer. I mean, also before we go, I want to touch on like they did announce new Call of Duty on the PS4 panel, and also they announced which is not exclusive, but it was just cool that they announced it on their panel. The new Black Ops, was it Black Ops 3?
Oh yeah, and actually if you go right here, we actually did a reaction to Black Ops 3 right here, and we did a review on it too, didn't we?
I think we might do a small one, but
yeah. Yeah, so definitely check that out right here in the section, and check out our review / reaction to it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and they also did a pretty crazy looking game called Trackmania Turbo, which I thought was exclusive, but it's not a PS4 exclusive. It's gonna come out on the Xbox as well.
Sweet.
Trackmania Turbo, which is like Speed Racer for a video game. So check that out.
So yeah, did Sony win? For me, all honesty, I could say no. I feel like the games look beautiful. Like, I'm sold on a PS4, and the fact that I'm adding media player is even more incentive to have it. Are they gonna have backwards compatibility? No. They have the PlayStation Now, and they're making you pay for it to be able to play Streamline. Did they add innovation? Yes, they talked about the Morpheus, but they didn't go into details about it. Did they have that thing that caught my eye? Yes, they had the Final Fantasy VII, and they also had like the Uncharted 4, which people were expecting. That's one of the things I'll say about E3 this year, that everybody, what they were expecting, they actually got. There was nothing that nobody didn't like get in return. But I feel like, man, just Xbox, when they announced like the backwards compatibility, and they came out with Halo 5, and then on top of that they showed the HoloLens. Like, I mean, there's nothing touching that for me, in my perspective. But final thoughts, John, before we roll this out?
Yeah, I mean, PS4, they definitely have the developers respect. I think they have like more developers supporting them, because I mean the game announcements they had were pretty crazy. I mean, they had Destiny for Pete's sake, and then you have I mean that alone got me hyped. But for them but that's on the developers. They're going back to the developers, not necessarily strides from Sony, you know. And I'm hyped about the new Xbox controller. Definitely gonna get one of those.
So
definitely gonna get.
Who you think won?
I would say Xbox.
So Microsoft is the winner. Well, we're gonna maybe do a reaction to Nintendo.
Better follow through with this too. You know, they're gonna add more titles. They better follow through, not just like,
they have to.
We have it.
It's not even an option. It's not even an option. But
yeah,
we'll be back. We'll be back. Our battery's dying on our camera, so we're kind of rushing. I apologize, but we are gonna do editing. So you're actually gonna get pictures and crap that you normally wouldn't get from the videos we put up. But thanks everybody for watching. If you did like our reaction review for the Sony Conference and Joe yawning just a second ago, please leave a like below for it. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and definitely thanks for everybody for subscribing. This has been awesome. We actually did a open discussion on the E3 conference. I did that earlier with a lot of different people, and it was really fun. So definitely go and check that out in my uploads. And thanks everybody for watching.
thank you.
It's SEL0320 signing out.
Joe Johnson.
Later, everybody. I can't get up, Joe. My knee's hurting.